Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Tenant Farmer. Whoa! Where have you come from? Just people coming from everywhere here today. My name is David, and when I'm not nearly running people over there, I am your Tenant Farmer. So welcome back. It's been a week or two, and we have been ticking along, really, waiting for some better weather, which is still not yet to come. So this morning it's nice and early. We've got some cattle to feed, we've got a few bits and pieces to do, and we've got some bales to stack, and then hopefully soon we're gonna get some slightly better weather so we can get some hay cut. At the moment there though, we're still hanging on waiting for that time to arrive. So what we're gonna do is we've got everything ready here just to feed up the dairy cattle this morning. Let's just park our truck out the way and we can get going. So we're still waiting for everything to grow around here, really. I am looking to see if we can get some slurry spread into some of the ground sooner or later. I want to get it on earlier because if, at some point soon the grass is going to be too long, really, and it's going to be too close to being cut again, so we'll have to leave that. But we have our Fiat 1890 on the Keenan. We're mixing in the brewer's grain that we have over here as well, so that's going to go into our feeder. We'll put a bit of silage in there, some straw, and a bit of hay to boot. But first things first, as we always do every morning, we fire up the Fiat. We'll let that just tick on over. Let that warm on through a bit before we turn anything on. And let's go for a little bit of a drive over to get some another bucket load of Selco here from the other side of the yard. And we're away. Yeah, like I say, we have silage bales to stack up, and now these are the bales over at the west end of the land that we're probably just going to sell straight from the field, to be honest, but we'll stack them at the corner just out the way for now, and then when that time does come that we're ready to sell them, you know, we'll just load them straight into a tractor from where they stand, actually, I think. But that will be the plan there eventually. Right now, get this open there. We're slowly working our way through this heap. The cattle seem to like this being added into the diet as well. They're certainly not complaining about it, that's for sure, which is good. And it's allowing us to kind of get a little bit more of a high level of protein into their diet, which right now is going to be important. And then otherwise, yeah, they're doing well. They're strong. We're looking to get the calves arriving very soon, actually. I think that's going to be next week we should see that. So they're going to be coming in from a few different locations, but it's nice to kind of get that planned out for when they're going to arrive, because that is the start of the new cycle, really. It's always pretty fun. But yeah, let's just get this put into here. No matter how you work this yard, it's never quite big enough. There's always something in the way. Alright, so with one bucket load into there, we're just going to swap around a fork or two, grab some silage, get some hay and a bit of straw into here, get the mixer set away, and we are looking good, I think. So that's going to be the plan to start the day off with. And then all being well, get some silage stacked up as well. But yeah, this is all how we always start our mornings off at the moment here, getting the cattle set up right. Milking is done by we've got a relief milk here at the moment, so I don't have to worry about that, which is great. And they can take care of all of the hardship of the early morning starts there, and I can roll in at around about 7. It's just after that time now there, so we've got lots to do, and we'll get everything ticked along. I'm looking to try and get a contractor in soon to help with the bit of slurry application. Because I want them just to be able to put it out in a few different locations there, and it might be a bit quicker for them. We'll crack on with our triple bar as well, but for what I have in mind, it might just be a little quicker and easier to get them to jump onto it. But anyway, we will see if that'll all work out soon. The field that we're going to clear, that's going to be the first one to start with, just so we can get that covered nice and quickly, and then we'll see what opportunities await for us after that. But yeah, lots to plan for, lots to navigate around as well, and we'll see how it all goes. But as always, it's never a dull day, never a dull moment here. Let's just go and get this all loaded up there, get the cattle fed, and then we'll go on to the next step of the day. One thing I've noticed for sure is when we're starting to do all the morning tasks, having this newer loader, bigger loader as well, than the old 5400 machine that we had there is just such a game changer. It really is speeding up the entire operation. Everything's a lot more fluid as well. We're able to lift more at once, that bigger capacity, and it's just more comfort really. Well, I want to try and ensure as well as that because we're in and out of the tractor cab a lot there, that we do keep this tractor as clean as possible. That's going to be quite key. But alright, let's just stick this in. And then we will set the field away. Wonderful stuff. Alright, next up is going to be a bale of hay. Got a little bit of straw in there as well. And mix with a strange cake. Now, as I think I've mentioned on many different occasions there, the reason that we are still feeding them, we are coming into summer, whilst yes, there is grass out there for them to eat, the grass isn't of the same good quality at the moment that we'd like it to be, which is why we're still buffeting their ration. They don't get fed twice a day through us here, but they do get one feed in, just so we can guarantee that they're getting a good quality feed, and then they'll go out into the grass. Now grass conditions will change depending upon the weather as well there, so if it's sunny we get a slightly better quality grass coming through, which hopefully we're going to see a lot of that, although the weather forecast does not suggest that's going to be the case. But we'll have to see how that turns out. Ease it around the corner here and into the feeder we go. Alright, so we're going to let that all mix up. Shouldn't be too long. Whilst we wait, we've got everything we need into there now. So what we can do right now is get ourselves ready to go and cast some bales in really. So again, we're going to swap around the implements on the front, put the bale fork onto the back there. And then we can go and, well, we should be pretty close to being ready to move some silage around. So we'll get everything fed up. And then we'll go and have a look at how we go on in the field. And this is what it all comes down to eventually, folks. They're feeding up, making sure the cattle are happy. And then they'll be able to get on out into the paddock there, all being well. We're just taking our time, making sure they've got plenty. We'll come back through and push it up later on as well, just to make sure that they're not missing anything there, because sometimes they do nose it away from the trough a little bit. But then we are good to get out of here, really. And you can see we're ticking on down the scale there. There's plenty to go out here as well, so we'll probably keep a little bit in the feeder for tomorrow at this rate. But yeah, we're looking good. So we'll get them all fed up, and then it's out off into the massey. I've already hooked it on up to the bale handler on the front and rear. So we're kind of ready to go, really. We're just going to unload this, and then we'll get after it. Alright, so a cup of coffee has been had as well. We're all looking pretty set to go. Let's just bring that in where we can. Yeah, we're looking... So, we're going to go and head over to the grass field over the west side there. We'll also take another look at the hay ground just to see how that's looking. And we'll be able to follow up really and just make sure that we can... around the corner we go. Make sure that we can actually get ourselves ready to go for some hay over there sooner rather than later. We just need about a week of good weather really. We need a few days to dry it out before we mow it. And we need a few good strong days after that fact to get it knocked down there, get it tethered around a few times, and be in a good enough position that we can actually do something with it. So that's what we're going to be looking into. And we'll have to see how we get on really. If it's anything like the grassland that we baled up there, the yield was actually pretty good, and it's had equal amounts of slurry on it in the past, so we could be okay there. I'm certainly hoping we get the same amount for hay. Now, not all of this hay we're going to be keeping for ourselves there. A lot of it is going to be going into small square bales for the equine industry. So we'll be trying to get as much as we can there, because this could really drive up a little bit more of our revenue. But yeah, as you'll see, this silage here, like I said, I've mentioned there, we are going to be looking just to sell this straight off. But yeah, it is doing, or it did, very well actually, all things considered. It's a good while to get it all baled up, I know that much. But what we're going to do is stack it where we stacked it last time. and just look to get ourselves all ready to go with this, and just get it all put along the edge. And just down by the gate here, so when we do come to sell it off, at least we can just get the whoever's coming in to pick it up in and out nice and quickly. But we're going to put the first bale about there. Just clear all these bales out that I know are going to be in my way, including that one right there. But as you can see, plenty of bales. We'll get this done throughout the course of today, really. And then yeah, we can forget about it. Get some slurry put onto this field soon. I'm toying between the idea of, like I say, bringing in a contractor with a dribble bar to help do this, and I can just cart it to and from with my trailer or my tanker, or just doing it all myself. But we'll have to see what their availability is like. Essentially, that's what it's going to come down to. I think it'll be probably a bit more efficient to do it with a contractor in state. But hey, we'll see how that looks. Before we go any further as well, let's have a look at what's been growing over here, shall we? As you can see, grass over there, it's coming along. It needs a bit longer, but it's doing well. It's certainly, like, walking through now, your feet are getting wet, so it's certainly not good enough to go into. However, our spring drilled crops are looking rather good. We are in our barley here, as you can see. It's kicking on very nicely indeed. So this is our winter barley here. You got our spring barley is over the far side there. There are a few weeds here that I think I must have missed with the spray. We didn't quite have everything set up there properly, and they're coming through on the tram line there, so you know, it's not the worst location. The rest of the crop looks pretty clean. It looks pretty thick as well, I must say. I'm really pleased with how this is coming on, and hopefully we're in that period now where the seeds are starting to really fill out, so this is really important for the development. So we'll have to hope that we get a lot of dry weather, a lot of sun. It's looking good. It's had enough rain on it recently there, so hopefully that's all. We'll just get some nice warm weeks there to really finish off this this growing period, and then yeah, we're on the last stretch through to harvest there. So looking really good. Very impressed with how this is coming on. This year we have got our two fields here, this one and that one over there. We have got our oats over there on the new ground. You can just see in the very far ground there, that was recently drilled about 4 or 5 weeks ago now. And then we've got our field of winter or spring oilseed rape just over the next field. So that will be good to see as well. We've also got our sunflowers in the corner there for the winter bird feed too. So it's enough of what we need. I've always mentioned there that we predominantly grow a lot of our cereal crops for the straw for our animals. But yeah, it's looking good. Very impressed with it, and that'll keep us going through the summer there as well. But aside from that, really everything else is just dandy, as they say, and we're going to look to continue to get this all cleared. And we can see how we get on from there. We're going to probably, when we start to pull them in from a bit further away there, we'll start to use the rear handler there. Right now, it's just going to be a case of grabbing all these ones, and then we'll be good. But otherwise, it's just a short little update to show you where we are, where we're back, and then we'll get back into the swing of things later on. The produce from the garden boxes is really actually starting to kick up now that we're into warmer, drier weather. You know, we've seen a lot more production coming through there, and the temperature of the soil is really warmed up as well, so we're seeing a lot better produce coming in from there, which is great, and that means that ultimately we're going to be able to sell more. So when that happens, we'll of course bring you along for the updates there, and start planning on what we're going to do with that for the next year as well, to see if we're going to keep the same strategy or change it out at all. But I don't see any reason to change it yet. It's still making us a little bit of money each and every month, so that's all that we can really ask. But if you do have any questions, comments or feedback, do leave them down below as always. Well, we'll wrap this up just about here, I think. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed. I've been David. This has been an update where we nearly ran into a neighborhood pedestrian right off the get-go, but we are all good. The cattle are looking good, they're fed up, and we're into the fields in the dry and waiting for hay to start. So until next time, we'll catch you then. Do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing as always, and we'll see you next time.